Welcome back. So our goal this morning is just to become familiar with the website Codecademy. So let's quickly recap. Once you log in, you have your dashboard. You can see here what to do today. You can see my courses. We should have added 2 courses now. Okay, learn how to code and welcome to the Codecademy. We are now on this course here, learn how to code. And finally, the practice. This here requires the Pro edition of the Academy. We will not be requiring that. I will be providing you additional assignments. So let's go back to today. Here is the course that we are currently working on, and you can just go ahead, click resume, and it will just continue wherever you left off last time. You can see I have here 14% of the course completed, and you can see the most recent topics. But instead of doing that, instead of just jumping right back into the course, I recommend you come over here. Like I said, our goal today is just to become familiar with the interface. Click instead on the name of the course. Okay, so learn how to code. So we'll click on that. And what it presents us with is, well, it tells us how much we've completed. And you can see here all the topics that we're going to be covering in this course. There are 3 parts. Part 1, Programming Part 1, Programming Part 2, and Programming Part 3. And you can see the sections that we just completed. So I think we finished off with variables. Let me click on data types. Oops, let me click back. There was an arrow there. I don't think I clicked it correctly. Okay, so we finished the section on variables. And then let's click on what's up next, data types. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. And it's just going to take us back to data types now. And we're going to review the different sorts of data types. So we have primitive data types, okay, so numbers, strings, which are just collections of characters and letters. Whatever you type on the keyboard is a string, and Boolean, which can be simply true or false. Okay, so those are the 3 basic types, data types. Let me click what's up next. Okay, so I don't want the professional. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come right down here where it says continue with my current lesson. So it's important to read the screen carefully. Anytime you feel like you're stuck, just look at the screen, look for the continue button, or else send me an email. So let's click that continue button right at the bottom. And it takes us through a quiz. So let's quickly go through these 5 questions together so we can better understand what strings are, or better understand what data types are. So strings are called strings because, well, they are sequences of symbols, letters, characters on a keyboard. I think that's the right answer. There are other answers here that are obviously wrong. It has nothing to do with music. And parameters in a program wrapped around a package. That sounds really fancy, but that's not correct. The correct answer here is it's just a collection of letters typed on a keyboard. So to show you a string, let me bring up Notepad. And I'm just going to type any random stuff on my keyboard. Numbers, symbols, there you go. And even spaces, okay? So even the spaces are included in a string. So that is what we mean by a string data type, okay? So let's choose the first answer, sequence of symbols. It's green, so we're correct. Let's continue. Okay, what data type is used in this block? So let's examine the elements here. we have an equal sign, which means there's a variable assignment. When you have a variable assignment, on the left side is the name of the variable, is touching. Okay, so that's a box. And what do you do with boxes? You put things inside it. And what are we putting in this box? The value true. Now, whenever a variable is true or it's false, okay, that data type that it's holding is called Boolean. So once again, Boolean variables are true or false, and the data that we're putting in it is referred to as Boolean. Let's click continue. Okay, now primitive data types. A lot of these things we haven't even seen yet. We haven't seen arrays or lists, and it obviously told me I got it wrong. So I'm going to show you what to do at the end so you can get 100% on this quiz. Second option, numbers, booleans, and variables. Well, the two types, well, they're data types. A number is a data type, and a boolean is a data type. But variables, well, they hold data, so that's not a data type. A variable is a box, not a data type. Let's keep going. Strings, dictionaries, and integers. Well, again, it's more stuff we haven't looked at. We've only looked at 3 data types so far. A string, which is just a collection of letters and symbols, a number, and finally, if it's true or false, it's Boolean. So I'm going to show you how you can come back and you can correct this later. Okay, we're on to question number 4. Data types are important because they increase the number of lines in a program. Well, that doesn't sound very useful or important. They are a recent development, definitely not. Data types have been around for a long time. They identify different types of information. Okay, so a computer program might be processing numbers, like accounting information. It might be processing names, like a human resource database, all the employees in the company, or it might be processing true and false values, Boolean data types. So I think it's the last one here. They identify different information used in a program. Let's click continue. And now we have a line here, true or false. This is the value of a string. Well, it looks like a number, so my instinct is to hit false. No, the data type here, okay, is number. But look carefully here and you'll see it's enclosed in quotation marks. Now, when you have something enclosed in quotation marks, it changes the data type. Let me show you here in Notepad. Okay, so if I just have the number 24, okay, what is the data type for that? Well, that is a number. Okay, and we have many different types of numbers that we will look at soon. Integers, decimals. Okay, that's not important right now. The important thing is that it's a number. However, when we do this trick to the number 24, we enclose it in quotation marks. That data type is not a number. Let me repeat that. That is no longer a number. That is now a string. That is just a collection of symbols. So let's read the question again. True or false? This value is a string. The answer is yes. This is true. So that is a trick question. When it's in quotation marks, it is not a number. Let's click continue. I can see my score, and if I like, look what it says right here, retake quiz. So if you're not happy with this score, and I think at this stage we should be getting 100%, just retake the quiz and keep retaking it until you're happy with the score. There is nothing to submit at this point. We are just becoming familiar with the website. Let me click up next. Okay, and the next topic is operators.